Would you like help figuring out how to get rid of it? Okay. No, I trust you can remember that. That is really nice. Were you affected by the power outage? Yeah. Yeah? It wasn't for too long though, was it? I missed it completely. I was away. But I got an email saying the power in my apartment had gone out. I know, I had to adjust the oven. So it really doesn't matter much. You could hear the magpies and the crickets. You had said, yeah.
So what I have done is gone and what I did all
If you need assistance with that, you need some of the stuff, please let me
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, she dropped that for you.
Yeah, I know.
Liza, do you have a microphone ready?
You flank us.
Yes, we need to be here.
It's a little closer than we did, but it's still over an hour.
Okay.
How do you see me going from 10 to start?
Sometimes I get to start.
I would say just start speaking and see what happens.
lighter.
Oh,
It's looking very good.
oh, for the,
This is on. Is it supposed to be on?
I don't think we need a thank
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have a wonderful piano player this morning, Ted Zislis, who is joining us. Thank you, Ted, for variations on Wendy from Paul Desmond. At Two Rivers Unitarian Universalist, we welcome all who seek growth and meaningful community. Here, people of all backgrounds, beliefs, identities, and abilities come together in a spirit of acceptance and love. We honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person, celebrating our differences while finding common ground in our shared values of justice, compassion, and the free and responsible search for truth and meaning. If we have any guests today who feel comfortable introducing themselves, we invite you to do so.
I'm Jill Meadows. I've been here a couple times. I'm a friend of Linda's. Nice to see you all.
Nice to have you, Joe.
Yeah.
We welcome you.
I'm Bill Yocums, a friend of yours.
Wow.
And pleased to be here for my second visit.
You're welcome, Bill. Anybody else care to introduce themselves or be introduced? Well, you're very welcome. It's wonderful to have you here this morning. We have an online presence, and if there's anyone online, you can use the chat to introduce yourself. And of course, we invite you all for coffee and lively discussion afterward, because we have a very special guest today who you're going to be hearing about. And if you would like to connect to our community and you're here, please leave your information on the back of the order of service. Also, we are a volunteer-powered community, and it takes a lot of hands to make what appears to be very simple happen. And this morning, Greg and Kathy Feinsinger did the setup for us. Thank you, Greg and Kathy. And Mia and Udell were the coffee hosts this morning. And Liza is going to be doing the slides, and Andrew is operating the Zoom. And I would like to mention that we could use your help with the coffee setup and the regular setup. We're a little short on volunteers, and it seems like it's always falling to the same people. So if you're looking for a little job just to make things go more smoothly, we could sure use your help. We have a few announcements this morning. Peter and Kate are having a Venezuelan dinner tonight to support the earthquake victims, and it's not too late to make a donation or sign up. And Peter is right here. If that's something that in the order of service is their number, where you can contact Peter or make a donation. Also, Joan Herbst invites you to a Bon Voyage bash to bid farewell to Maria and Jerry Vanderbeek. Where are my? There you are. You snuck in, you guys.
Okay, good.
And that's this afternoon at Veltus Park from 5 to 8. And later in the service, you're going to know how much we hate to see you go. Please bring a dish if you choose to go to the picnic. Please bring a dish to share, and of course, BYOB. So, in addition to the warm welcome we want to extend to Ted, we also want to give a warm welcome to our guest, Christian de la Huerta. Christian is a person who has spent the past 30 years as a spiritual teacher, personal transformation coach, award-winning author with over 30 years of experience. He has spoken on the TEDx stage and led transformational retreats and workshops around the world. His books include Coming Out Spiritually, named a top 10 religion book by Publishers Weekly, and The Awakening the Soul of Power, which was praised by Gloria Esteban as a balm for the soul. He's the winner of multiple awards, and his latest book, Conscious Love, Transforming Our Relationship to Relationships, offers practical tools for healing and deeper connection. And if you would like to learn more about Christian, his website is www.soulfulpower.com. And so now it's time for, yes?
We have a circle supper coming up.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Sue, do you want to tell us?
Another way to connect with our community would be to come to our house for dinner. We have a circle supper on Wednesday, and we have a few places, so we would love it if you would contact either Bill or me right after the service and let us know, because we've got to get it organized this afternoon. So please come.
And we need to also mention that there has been a birthday of a very important 89-year-old, and that's Bill Spence. So happy birthday. Yes.
I was just going to say that those of us that already signed up for Sue, talk to her about what she wants us to bring.
I'll let you know this afternoon after I know how many people are coming.
Okay, great.
Okay, so Pat, I don't know exactly where you are. Oh, there he is. Okay. Pat's going to light the chalice for us this morning. And we're doing our chalice lighting to the words of Stephen Winters Bona. We invite you to let this light guide you, to bring you to a place where you feel balanced and present. Let it remind you to feel your breath. Let it remind you that we are not alone, that we are all connected. And now we're going to have our opening hymn, which is We Shall Not Be Moved.
We have words on it. The words are on the screen. It's not in the hymnal. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Everyone is welcome. We shall not be moved. Everyone is welcome, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Generous together, we shall not be moved. Generous together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Interdependence, we shall not be moved. Interdependence, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Caring for our planet, we shall not be moved. Caring for our planet, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Caring for each other, we shall not be moved. Caring for each other, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
It's gonna bite you. Thank you, Liza, and thanks everybody. That was fun. Reminds us of the good old days, huh? Let us join together in the spoken unison covenant. Love is the spirit of this community, and service is its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And let's follow that with our sun aspiration. Liza's going to help us once again. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots only flows, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Christian is going to guide us in a meditation at this moment.
So if it feels comfortable, please close your eyes. And take a couple of really deep breaths. It's really interesting that the breath is our most loyal companion on this journey of embodiment, and yet we take it for granted. So for the next couple of moments, we're going to gift the breath our attention. And interesting to note too that in the majority of the world's spiritual traditions, the same word, one word, can mean breath or spirit. So let's take a deep breath together. A Unitarian, universal breath together. And I don't mean that lightly. Like, where does my breath end and yours begin? Right? So we really are breathing one breath. And if we think about the element of argon, which is immutable, so unlike oxygen, that when we breathe it in, it gets transmuted into carbon dioxide. When we breathe in argon, it comes out as the same old, identical, boring argon that's been around for eons. And so that means that the breath, the argon that's going through our lungs right now, it's the same argon that went through the lungs of the saber-toothed tiger and the ancient Hebrew prophets and the Hindu sadhus and all the brightest, highest minds throughout history. Same argon going through our lungs right now. And today we're going to be speaking about freedom, about independence, and this is a month in which many countries, not just ours, celebrate freedom and independence. France's Bastille Day is in a couple of days. Peru, Argentina, they all celebrate this month. So see what comes to mind when you think about personal freedom. What does that mean to you? Inner freedom. And what, if anything, is getting in the way of you feeling completely free to be all of who you are, wherever you are? And slowly, whenever you're ready, beginning to bring yourself back, opening your eyes.
This is a time in our service where we honor and acknowledge those we hold in our hearts this morning who are not here in this space. Those we love who are facing challenges. Those we love who are celebrating milestones. Those we love who have passed away. By saying their names in this space, the TRUU community can hold your sorrow as well as your joy. Please speak up and let us hear the names of those who are on your minds this morning.
Joyce.
Lisa.
And for all those who haven't been named, they are also in our hearts. Now Ted is going to grace us with a Chopin prelude. Now we're going into a rite of farewell for two of our very close and wonderful colleagues and friends. And I wonder if Jerry and Mario will come on. It's always with great sadness that people we care about move on in their journey, but we wish you, of course, all the best. And in your rite of service, you'll see that there's a little place where we're going to follow what Andrew has to say, and often people start at different places, so just wait until I give you the signal to do it all. You can tell I've been a theater director. Okay.
In the order of service, there's a place for Jerry and Maria's ritual of farewell, and it says all. Is everybody finding that? So I'll read the first part, and then we'll all speak together. Jerry and Maria, we're grateful for your presence among us. We bid you farewell. Carry with you the love of this community. You always had a home here.
We've got a little blessing to. There's a little blessing to sing you, but do you want to speak first?
Do I have it on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, that's great. My voice still carries. You know, we experienced real heartbreak and saying goodbye to this wonderful, endeared community where we've been living now for full-time for 28 years, and before that about 10 years as part-time residents. And it is so tough to say goodbye. And I know, I was reminded by the chalice lighting, and we went to a wonderful memorial service yesterday for a friend, and they came both up with the same saying that you are not alone. We're all connected with the world, with one another, with life. And I realize that very deeply. But to the senses, it's hard to realize we're not alone and that you will still be with us. It's true in our hearts and in our spirit, but we will miss the physical nearness, the shakes and the hugs that we enjoy so frequently with so many of you. But, and it is tempting to give in to fear of the unknown. Maybe it is more so when you get at our age, and it was less so when we were 30 or 40 years younger. But we realize that your future is built in the very, very present moment. By being here and embracing you now, we're setting the tone, I believe, we're setting the tone for our more or less unknown future in Oregon. So thank you for your endearing fellowship. And besides the heartbreak of leaving, we have a heart-warming experience of true friendship and fellowship.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
We're going to sing to you if you want to stand here.
So we'll stand.
Stand and sing.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the
someone has a camera, I would love to have a picture of this. You can text me with it, but this is.
Oh.
This is one moment that is going to be so precious. I need to have a picture, even though we're connected spiritually.
Oh, we know how it is. That looked pretty.
Thank you, TRUU. Thank you. You realize my speech is great.
It's a tough one to say goodbye to these folks, but we'll have another chance at coffee to give your good wishes. And now we're going to have our wonderful guest speaker guide us in a little talk, a reflection called Freedom is an Inside Job. Please welcome Christian de la Huerta.
After more than 30 years of guiding people through transformation, I've learned something interesting. Most of us are not as free as we think we are. And I say that as someone whose life has been shaped by freedom, or the lack thereof, from the very beginning. I was born in Cuba, the year of the Communist Revolution. My parents conspired with the CIA against the Castro regime and made tremendous sacrifices, leaving everything behind. Family, friends, property, everything they knew, so that their children could grow up in freedom. Many of their friends were imprisoned, tortured, or executed by firing squad. So freedom was not an abstract idea in my family. It was something people risked everything for. And yet, even after coming to the US, even after gaining political freedom, I still didn't feel free. Because external freedom does not automatically create internal freedom. Nelson Mandela understood this. When he was finally being released after 27 years in prison, he said, as I was walking out the gate toward my freedom, I knew that if I didn't leave behind my bitterness and hatred, I'd still be in freedom. I'd still be in prison. So think about that. A person can walk out of a prison and still be imprisoned. And isn't that also true in our case? We leave painful circumstances behind, but their emotional residue lingers. The relationship ends, but the resentment, the grief remain. The criticism stops, but the self-doubt persists. The wound was inflicted in the past, but the pain keeps replaying in the present. And that's what I discovered in my own life. Even after my family escaped political freedom, I still had inner prisons to break out of. I was raised within the confines of the Catholic Church. And knowing from a very young age that I was gay, I was torn between my sexuality and my spirituality. My adolescence, one long depression, as I struggled to reconcile these two essential parts of myself. I had internalized the conditioning of my family, the religion in which I was raised, and a society that told me that being gay was wrong, sinful, even an illness. So for me, this wasn't philosophical. It was a matter of survival. I had to let go. I had to free myself of those old beliefs in order to live. And that began teaching me something profound. Some of the worst prisons are self-made and invisible. They exist in the mind, in identity, in conditioning. Not long after that, in my late 20s, I became part of an ashram, a spiritual community in the Hindu tradition, which was profoundly transformational. For 5 years, I immersed myself in deep inner work. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for that. And yet, eventually, I had to leave that too, because the inherently hierarchical nature of the guru-disciple relationship had begun to interfere with my own growth and autonomy. I was teaching and helping others be free, but deep down inside I didn't feel free myself. And that's when I realized that freedom comes in layers. Like, by that point, I had already experienced freedom from an oppressive, totalitarian regime. Freedom from limiting religious beliefs. Freedom from shame around my sexuality. And yet, there was still self-doubt. Still unconscious patterns of self-sabotage. Still the exhausting cycle of react and regret. As if some old programming was running my life beneath the surface. We're all shaped by our past. Families, friends, religions, cultures, schools, heartbreaks, disappointments. And from a young age, we develop strategies to survive emotionally and psychologically. Some of us learn to people please in order to feel accepted. Others learn to stay quiet and play small to avoid conflict. Maybe we become hyper-independent because trusting others didn't feel safe after too many betrayals and disappointments. At first, these strategies protect us, but eventually what protected us begins to imprison us. And the challenging part is this: we usually don't recognize these patterns as patterns. We think, this is just the way I am. But what if many of the things we call personality are actually coping behavior patterns and conditioning? What if perfectionism is overcompensating for not feeling good enough? What if overthinking is a strategy to avoid the possibility of failure? What if the inability to trust is a defense mechanism to protect us from getting hurt again? And here's why this is important. These unconscious patterns don't just affect our inner lives. They affect our relationships, impact our leadership. They color our choices, affect our health, and impact the emotional environment around us. Have you ever had a reaction that after the adrenaline dissipates, felt a bit unwarranted, like bigger than the moment itself? Someone gives feedback and we become defensive, disproportionately so. A partner says something in passing and suddenly we're flooded with feelings of anger or hurt. We tell ourselves we won't repeat the same pattern, and then do it again. And the tragic thing is that a lot of the times we're not even responding to the present moment. We're reacting to previous similar situations that were never resolved, never quite healed. And until we become aware of these patterns, we remain driven by them. Awareness itself is transformative. It's the first step. We can't do anything about what we can't see. And awareness is not as an abstract philosophical concept. Like basic awareness, the ability to notice what's going on with us. I'm triggered right now. I'm feeling attacked and starting to get defensive. I'm shutting down. I'm trying to manage somebody else's emotions. I'm getting drawn into somebody else's drama. The good news is that the moment we become aware of a pattern, we're no longer imprisoned in it. Suddenly, there's space. And in that space, possibility appears. Viktor Frankl, the Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, famously said, between stimulus and response, there's a space. And what's remarkable about those words is the context in which they were born. Because Frankl survived concentration camps and lost everything. His practice, his family, his property, possessions, social status, his pregnant wife. And in the midst of such unimaginable suffering, in the most inhuman of conditions, he arrived at what he later called the last of the human freedoms. They could take everything away from him except for one thing: the ability to choose how he would respond. And now, certainly, if he can do that there, we can do that in our lives. In the space he writes about, between stimulus and response, lies our freedom. Not freedom from life's challenges, but freedom in how we respond to them. Because freedom doesn't mean we no longer feel fear or anger or hurt. It means those emotions no longer run our lives. Freedom is not the absence of emotional experience. It's the ability to respond consciously to that experience. And that may be one of the most important skills we can develop today. Because we live in a world that profits from our reactivity. Social media thrives on outrage. Politics amplifies division and polarization. The fast pace of modern life keeps us distracted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from ourselves and from each other. Most of us go through our life reacting to people and circumstances. All day long, every day, without even realizing it. And the problem with that is that when we live reactively, we're giving away our power. And often to people who have even less of a clue. But when we slow down enough to become aware of our triggers and patterns and why we do the things we do, something extraordinary happens. We begin to reclaim choice. We begin to realize that these patterns in our lives can be changed. And then maybe someone disappoints us. And instead of immediately exploding in anger or collapsing into failure and self-blame, we pause and realize we don't have to take things personally. Maybe an old pattern begins to reveal itself. But this time, rather than automatically reacting, we notice it. We override it. We choose differently. Maybe fear comes up. And instead of automatically letting it take over and make our choices, we take a breath and get curious. What am I really feeling right now? What is going on beneath the surface? What is this fear trying to protect me from? And do I really need its protection right now? How do I choose to show up differently this time? Maybe, just maybe, we feel the fear and do it anyway. The awareness of choice alone changes our lives. Not all at once, of course, but moment by moment, choice by choice. And that's why practices that cultivate awareness make such a difference. Meditation, breathwork, therapy, coaching, journaling, spending time in nature, self-observation. They help us to see our triggers and patterns. And once we see a pattern, it becomes much more difficult to remain unconsciously imprisoned in it. These practices create the awareness that allow us to notice when we're in that space between stimulus and response. And in that brief moment, to make a choice. Rather than automatically react in the same old, boring, predictable ways we always have. They do this, I do that. They say this, I feel that. Boring. To be clear, none of this is about blaming ourselves or denying that many of us have experienced trauma and difficulty and hardship, or that the system is not set up fairly. It isn't. Inner freedom is not denial. It is not spiritual bypassing. It doesn't mean minimizing or sugarcoating difficult circumstances. But it does mean that no matter what happened in the past, and no matter what happens going forward, we always get to choose how we show up in response. Always. And that changes everything. It's empowering. It's liberating. It pops us out of a victim relationship with life. Because when we stop waiting for the outside world to validate us, to make us feel safe enough, worthy enough, lovable enough, or free enough, we begin to access a different kind of power. A power that comes from within. A power that no one can give us and no one can take away. We are the only ones who give it away, and we do that whenever we override our true feelings, preferences, desires, dreams, and settle for an illusion of acceptance or morsels of pseudo-love. A power rooted not in hierarchy, fear, force, domination, or control, but in consciousness. Not in reaction, but in choice. And from that space, new possibilities emerge. Healthier relationships, more effective, inspired leadership, greater resilience, a deeper sense of inner peace, self-acceptance, self-trust. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, not at all. Life will continue throwing curveballs our way. But because we're no longer living in from unconscious conditioning. We're facing life with awareness, with courage, with presence, with choice. The question then is not, how do I control life and what happens to me? But, who do I choose to be in response? For it's in that space between what happens to us and how we respond that our freedom lives. Freedom is not something we find somewhere outside of ourselves. Freedom is an inside job. Thank you.
So much to think about and feel about. Thank you, Christian. We will now receive an offering for the support of this religious community and its work in the world. You are invited to give as generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. And if you're a first-time gift, you can let the basket pass you by. Online, you can make a secure donation by going to TRUU and clicking Give. We're grateful for your generosity. Please join us in the offering song from you receive.
People can pass. I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Thank you. And we have now our closing hymn, which is in the gray hymnal, number 116. And you'll recognize this from the old days too. I'm on my way.
I'm on my way, on freedom land.
and go with me. Come and go with me.
I ask my sister,
I ask my sister.
come and go with me.
Come and go with me.
I ask my sister,
I ask my sister.
come and go with me.
Come and go with me. I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way.
I ask my brother,
I ask my brother.
come and go with me.
Come and go with me.
I ask my brother,
I ask my brother.
come and go with me.
Come and go with me.
I ask my brother,
I ask my brother.
come and go with me.
Come and go with me.
I'm on my way.
Great God, I'm on my way.
If they say no,
If they say no,
I'll go anyhow.
I'll go anyhow.
As I say no,
If they say no,
I'll go anyhow.
I'll go anyhow.
If they say no,
If they say no,
I'll go anyhow.
I'll go anyhow. I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way.
I'm
On my way.
and I won't turn back.
And I won't turn back.
I'm on my way,
I'm on my way.
and I won't turn back.
And I won't turn back.
I'm on my way,
I'm on my way.
and I won't turn back.
And I won't turn back.
I'm on
My
my
way.
way.
Great God, I'm on my way.
See what you got started, Christian? And now we'll have our chalice extinguishing. The words are by Elizabeth Sally Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fires of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we are together again. And now we're going to have our final closing song, One World Home by Jimmy Byrne. Everybody stands.
Who's over here?
All the joys and the griefs, the colors and beliefs, the sunlight shines upon us all the same. Open minds, loving hearts, helping hands is the start. One world home, one world home, one world home. Open minds, loving hearts, helping hands, it's a start. One world home, one world home, one world home. One world home, one world home, one world home.
Have a good week.
Long time ago, I was in a situation where you realize it's different race. My wife and I, she was on the line semi that was bringing us rights weapons and